Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Connelly. I am a Aaron's franchisee with 53 stores in the Midwest, Florida, and Denver, and just all the great vacation places because I live in Iowa, and there's not really much going on in Iowa, so we had to buy some stores in Florida, and we had to buy some stores in Denver. I'm just going to kind of get started. Just traveling through our stores, and again, we got 53 stores, and I just do a kind of a sales go board routine, and I just try to make it simple. Like, I started in the store. I was an account manager, went up, became a store manager, regional manager, divisional manager, regional VP with Rent-A-Center, senior vice president with Rent-A-Center, 320 stores, and left them, and started with an Aaron's franchise that's 5 stores, and now we're 53 stores. So, all that's kind of goal setting. So, I look at it like when you get up in your car in the morning and you start driving, do you have a destination, or do you just start driving and not know where you're going? Does anyone just get up and start driving not knowing where they're going and just keep driving? No one? Just me? No, I'm just joking. So, I think goals are just like that. You got to know where you're going. You got to know how to get there, but at the same time, you got to make it just really, really simple and not really complicated, because I'm not smart enough to follow up on complicated stuff. So, there's an old acronym, and you guys, seriously, I need you to participate, but there's an acronym called SMART. Has anyone heard that on goal setting? Anyone know, S? What's the S mean? Specific. M? A? It is achievable. The R, relevant, and the T, time constraint. So all those are very, you can't really have a goal without those. And I kind of add, and those are all copied. I read those in a book, and we've all read those in a book. I added one that's called B. It just doesn't fit in, but it's if you think you can or can't, you're right. So you got to believe, right? You really got to embrace it, and you got to believe in it. So when I do this routine, and we'll circle back, and I'll just tell you a story. So, when I look at a goal, and I throw out a big number, and I'll just use weight loss, because a lot of us have gone through diets and weight loss and things like that, and it's the easiest way to kind of break this down. So if I tell myself I got to lose 100 pounds, does that match those SMART? Does that feel attainable, or? Not really, right? My brain can't comprehend 100 pounds. I just can't. It's like, that's too big of a number. There's no way I'm going to lose 100 pounds. But this is where you guys need to bring out a calculator if anyone has one. Take 100 pounds, divide it by 12 months. What is that? 8.33 pounds a month. Now, is that number starting to seem like I can maybe do that? Sounds like an achievable number, right? Man, I can comprehend that number. Now, so you divide that into 4.33 weeks in a month, right? So what is that? 2.92 or something like that? So again, easy number to comprehend. So 2.92 pounds in a week. And again, I break that down into 7 days a week, 0.27. So a quarter of a pound a day. And if I do that every day for a year, I lose 100 pounds. So now that my brain can comprehend that, I can start doing something. So I asked myself, what am I doing today that's making me 100 pounds overweight, right? And so you start looking and you go, I don't want to change a lot. I really want to make it simple. I want to keep it easy. So what are some ideas? You guys throw out some ideas. What can I do that if I do every day, or not even every day, but if I do it sometimes, what will help me lose a quarter of a pound a day, or 2.92 pounds in a week? Exercise. All right, so talk about exercise. So can I walk? Can I just start out walking 30 minutes? And don't even say 7 days a week. Let's just say 5 days a week. Can I do that? Can I find time to give myself 30 minutes a day and just start walking? Can we all do that? Can we all just, we can believe that? We can envision that? So, all right, what else can I do? Say I drink, I don't know, who drinks like Mountain Dews? This group I know drinks Mountain Dews all the time. So you're drinking 3 or 4 of those a day. I don't know how much sugar's in those. Somebody here might know, but can I maybe just, not even cut them off completely, but can I just limit that to maybe 1 a day instead of 3 or 4 a day? Is that something that's easy for me to understand and do? Now I got to do it, but do something like that. What are some other ideas? Eat healthier. All right, so in our business, and we're all, I mean, seriously, we all do this. We all work till 7, 8 o'clock. I mean, our store's closed, and some of us work till 8, 9 o'clock. And we go home, and what do? Right, we stop. We go through a drive-through, we eat fast food, and then we eat at 9 o'clock at night. Worst time to eat, right? So can I just say, all right, if I don't eat by 7:30 p.m., if I just don't eat by 7, I'm just not going to eat. Because that's the worst. All I was doing is just sitting there. If you're going to eat a lot in the morning. Sylvester Stallone eats ice cream in the morning because it gives him all day to burn it off. He loves ice cream. He doesn't want to quit it, so he eats it in the morning. So easy to do, right? 7:30 p.m. hits. If I haven't eaten, I promise you're not going to die of starvation. Go to bed. Don't eat, right? So anything else that's really simple? Hey, let's just do those things, right? We're gonna only drink 1 soda instead of 3 sodas a day. We're gonna walk for 30 minutes a day, and we're gonna not eat after 7:30 p.m. So again, there's how I do it, right? So now you got to start tracking it. So you go, 2 weeks down the road. By now we should lose about a half a pound, right? And really, do you think if you did all those things you would lose a half a pound? So if you're tracking yourself and you go, man, I lost a quarter of a pound. And then you look back and go, well, you know what? That first week I only walked three days. I didn't walk 5 days. That second week, God, I was so hungry, man. I ate that big pizza at 9 o'clock. When I went home, I just couldn't help myself. Or, man, I just couldn't. Man, I drank those 3 Mountain Dews 3 of those days. Well, duh. You're not right. You're not. So you got to believe. You got to do what you say you're going to do. So that's kind of the concept of what I do. Now, we could change that. Instead of losing 100 pounds, let's gain 100 customers or 100 agreements or something like that, right? So let's just kind of turn around and do the same exact format because it's that simple again. As long as we do those daily things and you live by them, you will do what you set out to do. So, on this board, and this is kind of what we use in our system, and you guys will have your own goal boards, and we call goal boards, we get really upset when we go into a store and we look at a goal board and it's just got numbers filled out and kind of that's it. And there's no conversations to go with it. I mean, one of the first things I do in a store, I go right to that goal board because I want to see what's written on that goal board. I want to see, number one, if they filled it out, they take the time to fill it out, how they filled it out. Is there action items on there for them to do? Are people accountable for, different things to hit those goals? So again, let's back this up. We're going to gain 100 customers, so really we got to gain a quarter of a customer a day, right, to gain 100 customers, or 8.33 a month. A lot of times we go, man, we're going to gain 100 customers or 100 agreements. Let's just say agreements. I think most people understand agreements in this room. So I'm going to gain 100 agreements this year. And would that be a great year for anyone in this room? Over the last few years, we take 100 agreements in a second, right? Now, if you're a brand new store, you want a lot more than that. Anyone who's in here, brand new store, you do want more than that. We want that in our first month in an Aaron store. We want 100 customers our first month in an Aaron store. So, so you go back and you just and again, let's talk about the things we can do different. All right. So on a daily basis, what can I do to help me achieve that? So what are we not doing today? Number one, we call them strategy meetings. We sit down, we talk to our people, we provide training. If you do that every morning, is that going to help you a little bit have a better day? We're going to track it. We don't wait till 7 p.m. to figure out we missed our goal for the day. We're going to look at it at noon. We're going to look at it at like 2 or 3. We're going to look at it at 5 or 6, and then we're going to look at it again at closing. We're going to review that throughout the day and talk to our sales manager, our CSR, kind of see if they did the things they said they were going to do. So can you get 1 or 2 deliveries from just something like that, holding people accountable, having conversations? Don't you think they're going to work a little harder? High-fiving them when they do what they said they were going to do, congratulating them. Pushing referrals, lost art. Everyone says, yeah, we have a referral program. We'll give you $10 off, $20 off, $30 off. We all do that. I think every system does that. But do you do it every day on every customer contact? Does anyone here do it every day, execute that program every day? Right? And I was guilty of that also. I just don't do those things every day. So again, if I do something like that, can I do a customer appreciation party once a month? right? Can anyone not do that? I do a mail out to all my current customers, my past customers, my payout customers, the return customers. Can I just stay in contact with them once, even if it's not monthly, quarterly? I could have a big bang quarterly. I can tell you we do something on Black Friday that's just, and every year it keeps growing, but we do, at 50 stores last year, we grew on one day $192,000 in potential rent on that one day. So $3,900 per store is what we averaged on just our Black Friday. And it started out smaller, but each year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Last year was a record year for us again. It's just one event. But and what's funny is we have that one event. We don't even have one each quarter like that. But it'd be easy for us to do. But we put everything into it, and it's something easy for us to do. We can get together for one deal a day, or one deal for Black Friday. We can rally our troops and keep it going. You can't do that stuff weekly. I can't. I've never been able to do something like that on a weekly basis, but on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, I can do that. So if we all commit to doing just a few of those things every day, you're going to grow 100 customers. Anyone not believe that? Anyone think that really can't happen if you do those things every day? And there's a bunch of other little things. What are other things we can do better? Business to business, great idea. Product training, just have a little product training on a weekly basis. What other things? Apartment referrals, going to apartment. There's all kinds of things you can do. We are in the best business. There's nothing that keeps us. We tell our people, if it's a slow day, there's no rules that keep you inside this store. You can go out and knock on doors with one of our flyers anytime you want, right? So easy. If it's just slow, go out there and just knock. You know where the customers live. You know where your best customers live. Go in their neighborhoods. Go in their apartment complexes. Go knock on doors. But again, 3, 4, 5 things max is all you want to concentrate on, and you execute those every day. And if you do those every day, you're going to hit those goals. Now, when you finish that week out and you didn't grow, your 2.92 customers for the week, you can go back and you review what you said you were going to do, and I guarantee you didn't do it. You didn't do it every day. You dropped the ball. And we all responsible for that, right? We all just take ownership in our mistakes or our inability to follow up and keep on a program. So now what I'd love to do in our stores is, and that's where I come up with this goal board, I look at their past information, all right? So if you guys look at your goal sheet, and I'm hoping I could fill this out with you guys. So what did you say? The month is May, and you guys could write here, and you could write your beginning agreements wherever you started the month at, whatever you want to do. Let's just say we're at, for just ease of. Can I just call everything? I could keep it on 100. I know we're all like 833 or 642 or 502. I'm just going to call it 1,000 agreements because it's going to be easy to do the math, okay? So this store starts out at 1,000 agreements. All right, so at the end of my month-to-date agreement, that's the next box is just currently where you're at. So you're going to, on the month, are you +2, are you +1, are you -5? You write it down. Guess what? If you're -5, you're going to write it in red. If you're -1, you're going to write it in red. If you're on your goal, it's going to be in green, right? We love colors. The red is bad, green is good, right? So we're going to write that down. So let's just say, I even got colors here. Say we're +2 right now on the month. Can't even see that, but it is in green. Next 100 agreements, I just love that because we just love tracking with our next 100. Because once you get to 1,000, guess what? You got to set your sights on 1,100, right? You hit 1,100, 1,200. Your potential rent, let's just call that, we'll call that 100K is what our potential rent is. It's going to be a lot higher if you're 1,000 agreements at 120 or 150 bucks per agreement. So there's the top of my sheet. Does everyone kind of understand that? So now I go to the bottom left of the sheet, and here's what we do. We go back and we look at the last 2 months. All right. So, and this is empirical data. No one can argue with this data. Going back to the achievable, we want to prove to our people these things are achievable. So we have what we call a store performance report in Aaron's, and it shows like the last 25 months of deliveries, gain, loss, charge-offs, all those things. So we'll go back and we'll look at the 1st through the 7th of the last 2 months, how many agreement deliveries we had during that week. And you could use 3 months, and then we just use 2 months, but 3 months or whatever you want to use, you could just use that. So we go back to, let's say, the 1st through the 7th, we average, I don't know, let's call it 30 deliveries. First part of the month is usually a little bit busier than the rest, right? First and third paydays. And now again, that's a 2-month average. So just you go back to your stores, you can do this. It's really simple to do, and go look at those dates. 8th through 14th, say I did 21. 15th through 21st, let's say 27. 22nd through the 28th, let's say 20. And then the last month end is just anything after the 28th. So if there's 29th, 30th, 31st, or 3, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you do on those last few days of the month. And say I just want this to add up to 100. So where we got 30, 50, 71, 81, 91, 98, and say we do 2. All right, so there's 100 deliveries that in the last 2 months that we've averaged in the last 2 months. Now here's the deal. If I'm gaining right now with doing 100 deliveries, guess what? I'm going to go myself. I'm going to keep doing 100 deliveries. If I'm losing 2 or 3 on a month, or if I'm losing 5 on a month, right, it's really easy for me to figure out what number I got to hit, right? So now my goal is going to be, say I'm losing 5, so I have to be at 106 to gain at least 1, right? So I'm going to put, so as soon as I fill that out, any questions on that? All right, and so the column over here is, you'll fill that in currently each month as you're going forward. So after you get through the first 7 days, you're going to write down what your actual numbers are. And it's really easy to compare what you've been averaging, where you fell out at, right? So now I'm going to go up here, and over on the right-hand side, so over here on 100, so I average 100 deliveries over here. The first 7 days, I average 30% of all my deliveries, right? Everybody understand that? So I got 30% of all my deliveries the first 7 days. So I got to track it. I don't want to just take 100 and divide it by 26 working days. That's the easy way out, but it's not accurate. It's not real, right? So I know, and again, this is empirical data. This is actually what you did. So my goal up here is going to be 30. I'm going to write that down. The 8th through the 14th, I did 21, so my goal is going to be 21%. On the 15th through the 21st is going to be 27%, which will be 27 agreements. 22nd through 28th, what did I say there, 20? And then 2 at month end, and so my agreements are going to be 100 agreements. Again, I'm assuming, with 100 agreements right now, we're growing a few, and so there's no reason for me to raise it. But again, if you're losing, whatever you're doing, if you're losing 4 or 5 a month, increase it, raise it up. Because then it's really all you got to do is 1 more delivery a week if you're losing 4 just to break even, right? So if you do 5 more for the month, you're going to gain 1. And if you just get in that mentality, and what you want to do is show that you can hit these. And as you start hitting these and you start doing the things you say you're going to do, you will start growing consistently on an ongoing basis. I mean, we've not had, I know 2008, I think 2009 was the only year that we've ever had where we had a loss of revenue. We've never, as a Aaron's franchise, and the business has been slow since 2008. A lot of people say that, but we've never had a year where our same-store revenues haven't gone up. Now, they don't go up a lot. Like last year, we went up 3 or 4%, but compared to the Rent-A-Centers and the Aaron's corporate numbers where they're dropping each year, we're still growing. So, part of the reason is we have these daily conversations all the time with our people, and we have fun, and we're pushing them all the time. So, you have a goal, again, down at the bottom, there's a spot there for retail profit. We always want $1,000 in profit retail every month. So you can put any number you want in there, whatever you're averaging. We want to average $1,000 per month. That's what we put in there, and we roll it out. So month to date, or potential rent, again, our goal was, $100K for what our potential rent was, and we're always going to put an actual where we're at throughout the month as far as just revenue. So coworker bonus, I put this in there. I left this open. we bonus our salespeople on number of deliveries or how much money they collect up front. So what we do on ours, we write in exactly how they get bonused and how much they get bonused for it. Like if they hit $1,000 in retail profit, you know, we would pay anything over that, we pay a percentage of the retail sales. So they might get 3% of profit numbers or 5% or something over that. So we're always throwing a number, but we want every coworker to understand how they get paid. So we like writing it down right here so they know exactly how they get paid or how they get bonused. Now, a lot of stores don't bonus, but we do. We just throw in a little bonus plan on there. We give them a commission based on what they sell. But they got to hit a certain number, and they got to hit their percent collected numbers and all those things. So we would write any of that. So if you guys have that, you would write that down. So now, you know, let's just roll into May, and then my first 7 days. And I'm just going to do this first week because each week you're going to do the same. So I have to do 30 deliveries the first 7. And it doesn't matter. You always start your first here. It doesn't matter whether it's on a Monday or a Wednesday. You always put your first here in this left-hand box, the upper left-hand box. That's always your first working day. So in May, what I think is our first day this month. I don't know how May started out. Was it second? So we would put, you know, that would be the date there would be May 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th going across. So you guys could write that on there. So again, now I got 30 deliveries for that week. Again, that's 30% of what my goal is. Empirically, you know, historically, I've always done 30% in the first 7 days because I have those averages. So right now I get everyone believing in those numbers. Every one of my coworkers totally believes and buys in and agrees to that. They're part of this process. We don't just say this is your goal. You got to do it. We do this individually in every store at the beginning of each month. Now, the store manager does it with his team, but the regional managers go out, and when we travel through, we follow, you know, we're always looking at it. So, you know, second of the month, so you're going to break these 30 into however you see fit. Like we have, you know, we know the first, second, third, those are going to be a little bit busier days, so maybe I'll put, you know, 5 or 6 on that first day. And so the G is your goal, you know, the A is actual. So you're always going to put your goal up there, and then you're going to put actually what you did. So I'm going to roll out, and I only do this at a week at a time. So when the first week, so let's see, the third, that's a Tuesday. I don't know, maybe it's an average day, maybe it's just 3. Then we go, it's a Wednesday, not a big day for us, maybe it's a 2. Thursday, maybe we have what we call truck days. Aaron gives us, that's when our trucks come in every Thursday. So we know on Thursdays we're going to have a big spike up in delivery, so we might call it 6, even though it's not, you know. And now if that's not your truck day or that's not a big day, don't put 6. So we got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we need 14 more. So we know Friday, Saturday. Those are probably, I might even readjust this and, you know, go back here and make this a 4 and maybe make this a 3. Because I don't want, you know, Saturdays to us aren't huge days anymore. Fridays are usually okay days, but Saturdays, we're only open 10 to 5 on Saturdays, so we don't, you know, we don't do much on Saturdays ourselves. So I put 3 on Saturday, so 21, so I got to do 9 on Friday. All right, so there's my numbers. So I roll out, so this is what I do on the first of every month. I only go this far. All right, so, and now I'm going to break this down. You can see here our sales manager, CSR, our general manager, and there's a blank there. You know, we might want we call them nons, but our collection people, we might say, hey, fallout days, when you're calling, we want 1 or 2 agreements from you guys during that first week. You know, all of our customers do 1st and 15th. So 1st and 15th, we're going to have our collection people, we're going to say, you guys got to give us 2 or 3 that week. You know, while you're calling, it's easy for you to talk to somebody else. They're great paying customers. Get them into another agreement, right? So we might write those, you know, we're going to write them down in that bottom, the bottom column there. Sales manager, so say the first day, you know, sales manager is going to be 3 CSRs off, and so the general manager is 2. Right? So that's the goal. You know, the second day, we got a 4 there, so sales manager's off, CSR is going to be 2, GM's 2. Third day, sales manager is going to be 2, CSR is going to be 1. Third day, or fourth day, sales manager is going to be 3, CSR is going to be 2, general manager 1. I'm sorry, you guys probably can't read this up here. All right, on Friday it's the 9th. Again, our sales manager probably going to be a 5.
our CSR is going to be a 2 and general manager a 2. Saturday, sales manager is going to be 2, CSR 1. So there's our goals, right? And we bring it down to the people, whoever's responsible during that, right? So here's where it gets fun. So day 1, 12 o'clock, again, we do these strategy meetings. We start out the day with a strategy meeting. We talk about all those type things. I'm going to go in a different concept that's after that. But so day 1, we're going out through the day. We're tracking it. So we're putting up numbers. Man, at 1 o'clock or at 12 o'clock, the sales manager has 2 and the GM has 1. Right? So we're tracking. They got 3 right now at 12 o'clock. Good day so far. We're probably gonna be high-fiving. We're on pace, right? We're doing all that. Say we had 0. We're gonna, hey, what are we doing? Let's call an audible. Let's do this. Let's get on the phones. Let's call some more customers. Let's call some payout customers. Let's call some return. So we're not just sitting there doing nothing, waiting on business to come in. We're always doing something. We're always looking to do something. It could be mailing out, again, we might mail out 50 flyers every day or 10 flyers every day. Again, whatever you put is what you're going to, whatever you say you're going to do for that plan we just said, you just got to make sure you do that every day. You got to watch your people. If you said you're going to push referrals on every customer contact, are you watching your people take the payments? Are they pushing referrals? As soon as that first one goes by and they didn't ask for a referral, guess what? It's a coaching moment. You don't wait and not say anything. Hey, Joe, come here. Man, we just had a plan. We talked about it this morning. We're all excited. We all committed. We're going to push referrals on every customer. The very first customer, you didn't say anything about it. Joe, come on, you're better than that, man. Come on, right? So the next time a customer comes in, guess what? You're watching Joe really close now, right? And all of a sudden, Joe's taking a payment and doing everything he's supposed to do. Hey, Miss Smith, if you were to get something today, what would you get? That's the best way to ask, right? Because what do they say? Is, hey, you need something else? What are they going to say? Nah, I don't need anything. But, hey, if you were to get something today, what would you get? I was thinking about a living room, right? Is that a sales lead? Yes. Right? What do you do then? Right, you get out from around that dang counter, you get up there and say, hey, let me show you some living rooms. That's a good customer. What kind of, tell me about what you're looking for in the living room, and get out there on the floor, walk into some living rooms, and close the deal, right? They're a good customer. They're a good paying customer. You have, the authority to close the deal, whatever you got to do. Well, I don't really have a payment right now. Well, when will you have a payment? And then you decide, can I wait? Can I give it to them now and they can pay me then? I mean, hopefully, if it's a good customer, you're probably going to do something like that. If they have money, you're going to take the money, right? And so you're always doing those. And guess what you're going to do to Joe? Joe, that was awesome, man. And you're going to high-five him, and you're going to do it in front of the whole crew. Because guess what? When you recognize somebody in front of the whole crew, what's the rest of the crew want? They want the same thing. They want that recognition. So you're constantly, it's just, you're just paying attention. You're just always watching. I mean, when I visit stores, I seriously sit back, and I just want to watch the manager if they're really, or even the regional manager or the VP. I'm watching them to see if they're paying attention to what's going on. You'll see it all the time. I was in a store last week. I was in our Nebraska stores, and I'm just kind of sitting back there. I'm in the non's office kind of talking to the collection people, and they had great numbers the month before, and I'm thanking them. But I'm looking out the window, and I see a customer take a payment, and they're walking out, and they're walking out, heading towards the door, and they stop, and they're looking at a living room. They walk off our little aisleway, and they're checking out this living room. And guess what? Our CSR who just took the payment's not doing anything. She's just sitting up there at the counter still. And I'm like, and it's in my peripheral vision, and I freak out when we let customers go. It's just not acceptable. So I'm like, whoa. And I go chase that. And then finally that customer starts walking out the door. And I run out, and I'm grabbing that customer. Hang on, I saw you looking at that living room set. Tell me what and I'm going to close the deal. So I'm showing everybody in the store, they can't do that. And guess what? I grabbed that CSR, and I took the store manager and the regional manager. I took them all back in an office same time. I said, guys, I just closed that deal for you. It was easy. You guys just missed. That customer is walking out, spent a couple minutes just looking at a living room set, and you guys didn't even approach her. Didn't even, you did the payment, right? You thanked her, you did all that. But, man, that's a sales lead if I ever saw one. If you just did those little things every day, I guarantee you're going to hit your goal. Everyone goes, the business is slowed down, the business is this. Every time I'm in a store, it's just funny. Every time I'm in a store, guess what we do? We grow.
We grow for that day because it's just, and what they always say is, man, we never get this much business when you're not here. Are you joking? That business is coming in all the time. You're just not executing. You're working a little harder because I'm here and I'm watching it. And I do that without anyone watching, right? That's kind of what you want to do, right? So anyhow, you're doing this stuff daily, and so you get through the week, and again, each person's going to be green or red, right? If they hit their goal, they're going to be green. If they're red, so if you're going across this board and you see the sales manager green every day, and you see the CSR like in red every day of the week, what are we going to do, right? Now, the key is you want the team to hit their goal, and I'd be okay if that's, like on this first day, we're gold for 5, but the sales manager did 4 and the CSR did 1. I hit my 5, I'm high-fiving. The store hit their goal, and I'm going to do that every day because that's kind of what I want to do. It doesn't really matter to me who it comes from. But at the end of the week, if that CSR is still red every day, there's some it's got to be a training opportunity, coaching opportunity, or something, right? Because that's not going to be. We can't just keep doing that. They're expected to do some business. We gave them the training to do it, and now we just hold them accountable to doing it. So, any questions over any of that? Yep.
What would you say to a manager who says it's not my job to sell?
I'd get rid of them. I really would. I mean, seriously, if I don't know how else to say that. I'd get rid. If a manager really said it's not my job to sell, I'd say it's not your job to be here either. You can't be here. It's their job to coach and make sure sales happens. And I hate it when a sales manager or CSR or anyone's up there helping a customer and then managers back in their office doing paperwork. We just don't like. We're a roll up your sleeve, get to work. Everyone in our stores. There's not enough people to do that. And then a lot of times you have your sales manager off, right? And your general manager or your store manager might be your best salesperson after that, right? So we always want the best sales. What if your store manager is the best salesperson you have in the store? Wouldn't you want them taking most of the sales opportunities? Yeah, you want them teaching their sales manager. You want them to be shadowing their sales manager. But yeah, if someone ever told us that, I do say that, and I probably would do that. I'd probably lose my mind and fire them on the spot. But I don't think anyone would say that to us. They just wouldn't. We wouldn't accept that. Kevin Holloway, what would you do? Did I see Kevin back there?
Yeah, we've got a good line for that. Actually, it came from Nancy Freeman, the telephone box, and says it's a condition of employment.
Right.
Any manager that's motivated to grow their store has to be motivated to sell it. And like you said, those are. It's a rare occurrence, but that's the condition of employment.
Yep. Yeah, it's just not acceptable. So, you want me to come down there and coach that guy for you? So, all right, so we go through the first week, and I don't have a red one. I'm going to pretend this purple's red. This is where we call audibles. And guess what I did? I did 26 at the end of that week. So what do I got to do? What do I got to do on that second week? Right? I got to make up. I got to call an audible. We're going to have some conversations. We're going to do all these things, but we're going to call an audible. And now, do I have to make it all up the next week? Right? Because that's going to kind of seem hard. So I'm down 4. I got 4 more, I got 3.5 weeks to make up those 4, right? So I know, so maybe I'm going to go change this goal here. Now I'm going to change this one to 29, so I'm going to get 2 of them there. Now, again, I'd erase that. I'm going to get 1 maybe this week, so I'm going to make this one 22, and I'm going to make that one 21. I don't want to wait till the end of the month to get it, right? You don't want to. You want to get it as soon as you can. But that week after the 15th for us is a better week because it's just a busier week for us because everyone gets paid. That's when everyone's due with us. So I'm going to adjust that. I'm going to call an audible and that's why I don't fill this out other than the first week. So now the second week I got to do 22, and I roll those numbers through on the 22. And I do the same thing every day. So at the beginning of that second week, we're going to sit down. We're going to go over it. And then we're going to say, why do we miss it? Anyone here in the Special Forces or in any service? Any former service members? We got 1. Hey, thank you. And everyone give them a round of applause, first of all. So I'm a former Marine and, was an officer in the Marine Corps and, got out and started in this business. And I told my wife I'd do this until I found something better, and I'm 27 years in it, so I'm still doing it. I guess I'm still looking for something better. There is nothing better, right? We love this. We love our customers. It's a great business to be in. I mean, you got to feel really proud of the things that we do for our customers and providing the ownership opportunities that we give them. So, but Special Forces, they have a thing, they go on a mission, and it's not called a strategy meeting, but they do it a little different. And I've been trying to get our people to do this, and I haven't been able to do it, and I'm trying to get it ingrained in their system, but they don't review. I mean, they have their pre-mission stuff, and they have these little meetings and do all that, but they come back right at the end of the meeting, right at the end of the mission, and they get into a room right then. And guess what? They talk about everything that went on in that mission. What went right, what went wrong, where do we, what do we have to adapt, what do we got to do? And so I'm currently trying to figure out, instead of doing these at the beginning of the morning, I almost want to do them at the end of the day, because guess what? I saw everything during the day, right? I saw what went on during the day. I don't really know what's going on in the beginning of the day, but by the end of the day, I could tell, Sally, man, you did awesome, you did great, you executed that. I heard you answer the phone like 3 times. Hell, I wanted to buy from you. You did so good. And Joe, not so much, dude. You were supposed to mail out 10 flyers each day. You didn't mail them out once. You were supposed to call 50 returns or payouts or whatever, 20, make it 10, 20. You didn't do any of that. You just didn't, And so you have those, and so again, we're not there yet. I know. What do you guys like of that? Do you guys think that is a good concept, or you still think the meetings at the beginning of the morning are better? Yeah, you see it all. I mean, it's, and again, every day we're on a mission. What's our mission every day, really? Grow one, right? We'd all be happy. We just grew one every day. Anyone in this room not be happy? Right. Yep. Yeah. And if you recap the previous day, the next morning, you lose things, and that's, again, I agree with you. It's hard to do, and really you're doing that throughout the day, but again, we haven't done it yet. I've talked about it. I haven't rolled it out, but I'm thinking about it, and I just don't know, Right. And again, a great manager is keeping up throughout the day. They're calling audibles all throughout the day. They're not waiting till the end. Mission, they go out and you don't see them and they come back. Well, we're seeing them throughout the day. It's a little different concept, but I saw. What went on? Right. All right, so I'm going to keep it in the morning. We just got to keep coaching throughout the day, right? That's the best strategy, and if you do that every day, again, you can take away all that other stuff and just do those things every day. You're going to grow your business. You're going to grow. The great managers always grow, and what do you see every day? You see that going on. You see an excited team. You see them rallying their troops. You see everyone happy. It's upbeat. I mean, I truly know, I don't know, maybe in the first 15 seconds if a store's doing good or not, just based on how I walk into it. I mean, do you guys have that? Chris, do you know really when you walk into a store, do you know pretty quick if that store's doing well or not, or how, based on the feeling of it? And again, I'll take it, some people, growing up in the business, I might not have the most perfect looking stores every day, but you know what? We dropped everything for a customer. That was job number one. I can get back to an inventory. I can get back to, doing something. I can get back. I can't get back to a customer that walked out. I can't get back to an opportunity that I lost, right? And so, yeah, filling that hole is important. We have a standard, no holes on your floor. Can't leave a hole on your floor. So, we deliver something, we're supposed to bring something out right then so your floor always looks good. Well, guess what? Reality comes in sometimes if you have a really busy day. Those delivery guys are busy. They're going to take that. They don't have time to bring something out. I'm okay with that hole sitting there for a while. Is it going to kill my business? No. But it is going to kill my business if I let customers walk out and we don't close them. Right? Any other ideas on any of this? So so you just have to do this every day. You do it every day, and you follow up on it every day. And again, the great ones do it. I think the biggest thing is if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right either way, right? If you go into a day, you go into a month, you go into a week and say, you know what, I don't think I can do this. Guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to grow. You're not going to do that. But if you do all those things, all right, so what I do is I put it on a big dry erase board, and it's actually more of a, it's still a dry erase, but the board and the lines are permanent, and so they fill them out every day. Well, we only have 2 offices. We have our collection and manager share an office, and then we have a closing room where we close all the agreements free of distractions. So it's all in that manager's office with the, yes. Right. Yeah, that's cool. And the one part I did miss on here, like these lines right here, daily commitments or activities, this is where, you come up with those 4 or 5 things, you write that down, all right? So at the end of the day, you see over here to the right, you got a yes or no. Did you do them, right? So anything you said no on, and have your people be honest. There are some days sometimes you don't get to, if they had 20 deliveries on a day, am I going to be mad that they didn't do some of these things? I'm going to understand that, right? I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to give you a break on that day, but don't, but we're going to still talk about it. So, or some of it's green, so I'm going to circle, yes in green, or I'm going to circle no in red if they didn't do what they said they're going to do. And again, I just make them real simple activities that they have to do. So, and you guys come up with your own. Again, it could be pushing referrals on every customer. It could be just doing 10 phone calls a day. It could be doing 10 mail outs a day. Just easy stuff that you just do every day. And again, I love the concept of a customer appreciation. I think Chris gave me that. I heard Chris talk about that. They do a different monthly event every month in his stores down in Florida, and I don't know if he's still doing that. I think they are, but it's just something easy to do. You can do that, right? Do we all think we could do it? Anyone think we can't? Because there's the door, right? Anyhow, let's see. It's 10:24. I'm going to make up some time that we lost last night at the dinner. Oh, okay. Last thing, and I think this is just a good, and I got this from one of my regional managers that was in Nebraska back when he was a store manager. That's why he's a regional manager. I walked into his store, and everywhere in his store, the goals were posted. I mean, you go in the bathrooms, it was the goals for that, what that store was going to do, where they wanted to be, when they were going to do it. It was on the walls in the office. I mean, it was posted everywhere, and everyone could see. You're just not going to see it. So I think anytime you come up with your goals and be really specific and do those things, talk to as many people about it, and then write it down as often as you can and post it as many places as you can. Because what happens when you do that? What happens if you tell somebody, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in a year? Right. The more people you tell, the more likely you're going to do it, right? If you don't tell anyone, there's no commitment. There's no, you're not letting anyone else down by you not doing what you said you're going to do. But if you tell as many people as you can, and tell the owner of the company, guess what happens when you do that? You call your regional manager, your VP, your owner. You call them and tell them what you're going to do. Are you more likely to do it that month? Right? And then hopefully those people call you back at the end of that month when you did do it. Hopefully they call you and say, man, thanks for doing that. That was awesome. And I try really hard to do something like that every month where I write a letter to, someone that says that or someone that had a great month. I try really, really hard to do that every month. I just have to take time away to do that because it's a great thing. So that concludes my presentation. Any other feedback here on anyone? Yes, sir. I guess you have to define that. Yeah, it's just, I could tell you, all right, back to, last week again, I'm traveling in Nebraska and I'm going through a store. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm walking around and we have this kid came in, filled out an order, and I'm looking at the order, it's a pretty good order. And guess what? We have what we call a hit list in Aaron's. If he was charged off at another Aaron's store, it comes on our little list. So this guy's on the hit list, and he looked pretty young then, and so the store manager. So I'm looking at the order. He wants a brand new 65-inch TV, smart, the smart HD, and so they always want that, right? And so the manager's like, well, you got to go to Muscatine, Iowa, and you got to take care of this. And I'm like, yeah, that's really likely. So I go, hang on. So I bring the kid in. I sit him down. We have that little office free of distract. I sit him down. I said, dude, tell me what happened in Muscatine, Iowa. And again, he was 18 at that time. So 4 years later, graduated avionics school in Orlando somewhere. He's got a great job. He just as an airplane mechanic, and has only been there two months. Came in with his sister, so his sister was there. I have mom and dad on the order form, and so I said, what happened in Muscatine? He goes, well, my girlfriend and I got in a fight, and I just left, and she was supposed to return it. I go, really? I go, dude, there's your name on there, not your girlfriend's. You can't do that. You can't do that, right? Like, if this happens again, you can't, and so I'm talking to him. And initially, he was getting defensive, and I thought he was going to walk out, but I just kept talking to him, and I stayed calm. I just kept talking, and you could see he was about to get up, but then he just said, you know what, I'm going to own this. I'm going to own my mistake, and he owned it. He goes, you know what, I screwed up. I should have done that. I was so pissed at her, blah, blah, blah. I said, dude, do you want another chance? He goes, I do. I really do. I said, well, you do right? He goes, I will. I said, well, here's the deal. I'm not giving you a brand new 65-inch. I said, you got to understand that. I charged off a living room set. Oh, by the way, he paid us $850 on that living room set, right? So we probably had $400 or $500 in it. So I probably made a couple bucks off it, worst case. Now, it still didn't do the right thing. So I'm still not letting him off the hook. So I'm like, so I get an inventory report, and I have the regional manager. And again, the regional manager was going to let this guy walk out too. And so I go back, and so I said, man, get your idle list. And so we had one with $240 book value left in it as a 50-inch. So I go, dude, here's what I do have for you. I got this TV. It's 50-inch. You're still going to get the free service. You're going to have everything that one has, a little smaller screen. But do right by it. And by the way, you got to pay me a month up front, $123. So paid me $123, got $200 in it. Worst case, if he doesn't pay me again, I lost $80, right? And so now, so at the end of that, I guess that's what you got to do on every, now if he got defensive and got in a big argument and started cussing me out, guess what? I'd have showed him the door and I'd escorted him out and said, dude, you leave. You lost your opportunity. I was going to give you another chance. You're not grown up enough to accept that, and so hit the door, and I can't do business with you. But he did. He owned it, and so I think you got to do that in every case. And we have this. Everyone's pre-approved. Well, they're approved for something. It might not be what they always want, because everyone wants the latest, greatest, most expensive thing. But don't lose them as a customer. Everyone deserves. That saying, everyone deserves a second chance. You got to do that. But again, we're going to lose that customer, and I put my name on that one. So if that one goes bad, guess who will call that guy? I will. I don't live in Lincoln, but because I did that, I kind of overruled it. I like putting my name on it. I like taking responsibility for it. But I also said, hey, when this guy comes in next month and pays you another $123, I want you to call me too, because now we made money on the deal, and I'm off the hook. The rest of it's up to you guys. So you just have fun. But overloading, I guess if a customer's paying me good, and when I mean good, I don't mean perfect. I mean within 3, 4, 5 days, and they're consistently always paying me relatively on time like that, and they want something else. And I guess if I didn't, I'm going to sit them down and I'm going to say, Chris, here's the deal. Man, you're a great customer, and right now you're paying me $350 a month, and I know you want this, and I'm hesitating it, but man, you're a great customer, and so all I want you, Chris, I'm going to let you do this, but I want you to just tell me if this overloads you. I don't want to lose you as a customer. I don't want to fight this. I don't want to be calling you all the time. I don't want you to get mad at us. If you can't afford this, promise me right now, Chris, you'll return this. If you seriously can't make these payments timely like you've been, and this is overwhelming you, will you promise me you'll return this? And if he says yes, I'm going to give him the shot. If he says, you know, and they're using, but at least I know he's going to return it. I got to feel good that if that is overloading him, I'm going to get the product back. Right?
I'd even go one step further and write that on the outside or inside of this customer file. Any comments that you get, they're kind of gray, that's not on the order form. You know, sister-in-law used to have an account, blah, 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 just write that. So, got a commitment that he promised if he wasn't able to afford the payments and the date it. And we try to teach our market managers, account managers, collection guys to go pull files and look at those.
Right.
And sure enough, there it is. Hey, Mark sold this TV 6 months ago, and it says right here, Chris promised to return TV. And that's actually a tool for the collection guy to say, you know, I noticed here that you've made a commitment to my regional manager that if he let you have this TV and you weren't able to keep the payments up, you return it.
Yep.
And those things are invaluable. And the counseling that you're talking about is, to me, it's what you talk about daily coaching moments.
Yep.
Constantly looking for a way to get a little bit, get people a little better so you're training throughout the day.
Right.
And also with the customers, it's our stuff. And they're coming in here and they're not really expecting just to be able to walk in and get a 65-inch TV. So
Right.
take that extra 60 seconds, talk to the guy, and you're exactly right. If you have that conversation, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm taking a chance, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to personally follow up on your account, make sure you're making your payments, even though I work out the corporate office.
Right.
Whatever. You hold that guy accountable.
Right.
Take that away, because these are young people, a lot of young people that are doing business with us that haven't paid anybody very well, and they need that counseling.
Right. Yep. And young people are hard to get today. I mean, young people don't come in today like they used to. Young people don't shop. They don't drive around. They don't, right? And I can tell you in Aaron's, our average customer is like 41 years old and is getting older. Now, we're doing e-commerce stuff, and we're starting to get an influx of that. And guess what? That e-commerce, all 25 to 30-year-olds. And so I know that customer base loves shopping online. If you don't have an online deal as an owner, figure that out. It was 3/4 of our growth last year, just our online orders. That we did nothing. They ordered online, came into our system. It's already typed up, already a customer. They already took the first payment. Product came in our store, we automatically delivered it. And that was 3/4 of our growth last year. Not that 3/4 of our deliveries, but just what we grew, our potential revenue, or we call it GAAP, but you guys call it potential revenue, or SMR. I think Rent-A-Center calls it SMR. So 3/4 of that was all online. So $150,000 of what we grew as, you know. So not a lot when you divide it by 50 stores, but that's $150,000 a month that I get for the rest of this year. Any other questions? We are adjourned. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.